And welcome back to, sadly, the final edition for this season of the St. Mary of the Woods Sprint Football Coaches Show with Blaine Powell. We want to thank Quality Roofing of Indiana for your support of the program all season long. Coach Powell, certainly not the result you wanted on Saturday, but you look at the season as a whole, it was just a wild success for your group.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, of course we're disappointed, to lose a championship game like that. We knew coming in, number one, they're a great team that we're getting ready to play, well coached. It's kind of a tale of just like two opposite teams really in every aspect. And, we'd beat them, a couple weeks before. It's tough to beat a team twice, in that close of a time span. But, you got to take your hats off to them. I mean, they were able to play their game and took us out of ours. And, we just didn't make enough plays to get the job done. And
you think about 2 weeks ago, they fumbled the opening kickoff. They had the snaps over the head, and the breaks went their way on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean that's football, man. The football isn't round, so it's going to take some weird bounces every once in a while, and it just didn't bounce our way. But they also did a lot to make sure it didn't go our way.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, all in all, I mean, absolute great season for us. Accomplished a lot of things, got better in a lot of different ways, and really proud of our everybody in our program, coaching staff, players, everybody.
Let's talk about the three phases of the game. Start with offensively. Just had so many weapons this year. You had guys that really stepped up for you all season long. I think of Marcus Reese, obviously Jeremiah Toski. You had several tailbacks. They all played well all year. Even in the championship game, they played well.
Yeah, they did. And it was we had a lot of kids that stepped up and played well for us. I mean, you got Corbin Cleveland, on the outside that probably had the best year of his career.
Yeah.
Being a junior this year, and then Dev was just as steady as he's always been. Marcus was outstanding throughout the year. Like you said, all of our running backs, Darren had another great year, led the league in rushing. Keandre is just, he does everything so well for us. I mean, the little things that people don't really think about, the pass protection, run blocking, and things like that. Just steady as he goes, man. And then, Patrick Perea coming off of a shoulder surgery. Kind of an up and down season for him, but I was glad to see him kind of getting a little bit of a groove there toward the end of the year, and I think that's a positive for us heading into the spring to have him, fully healthy, being able to actually lift weights and work out. It's really going to help him. Jeremiah did a great job throughout the whole year, and you can't say enough about our offensive line and our tight ends. We threw a lot at them this year, changed up a lot of things that we were doing. With our blocking scheme, and our offensive line picked up on it really well. And then, you got Kyle Vernelson, Brighton Suggs, and Darius Hill were our main tight ends. And, Kyle played wide receiver. He'd played quarterback for us. He'd play, and then he hurt his knee, had to miss last year, came back, we moved him to tight end. And believe me, I mean, I've coached him. This is my seventh year coaching him, I think. And, he never blocked anybody when he was in high school, I'll tell you that. And he'll admit to that too.
Yep.
But he became a really good blocker this year. And it's just a testament to his work ethic and his, ability just to do whatever you ask him to do. And he also made some big catches for us this year. So really proud of that whole unit. Love what, Coach Trey did with them and Coach Joe. John Willie was on staff this year as a running back coach for the first year. They all did a great job with our offense. Really proud of them.
And Kyle and his family, they got some great tunes and a great tailgate too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. We know how to do it.
I personally experienced the breakfast burrito. I'll never have another one that good. You look over on the defense, the defensive side of the ball. You had a lot of contributors again. I thought the secondary, Austin Petrillo, just had a great year, and boy, he really overcame some injuries there down the stretch. He just kept fighting for you.
Yeah, he did. Austin just an amazing young man. I mean, he's he's a vocal leader. He's like having a quarterback out there on defense, and when we didn't have him in there, you could tell it.
Yeah.
And he was fighting a shoulder injury all year. I mean, the kid got kicked in the face by a cleat this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was all banged up throughout the whole season, but he just kept playing. And he's a kid that you just want to keep in your program forever, just because of the way he goes about his business, and we're really going to miss him. But overall, I mean, our defense had a great year. We had to fight through so many injuries on defense. Yep. I mean, losing Christian Chunk, our starting freshman linebacker, early in week 2 against Quincy was a big loss that a lot of people kind of forget about as the season goes on. But when we lost him to a knee injury, I mean, he's an extremely talented young man, and was probably well on his way to leading us in tackles this year. And we hated to lose him, but and then we also lost Jake for a period of time with a shoulder injury, and then he played banged up on Saturday. His knee was the same size of his thigh throughout the whole game.
Oh my gosh, wow!
And he's held together, but him and Austin both shoulders were held together by braces and tape and everything they could find. But he played the whole game and played his heart out all year. But the 3 young men that really came in and spelled us at inside linebacker, I'm really proud of them. Justin Wiggins, who had been a safety the year before, we moved him to inside linebacker. He did a great job for us while those guys were out. Brandon Washington, a freshman from Texas, came in and played well all year. Caden Matzke, who played quarterback in high school at Marshall, Illinois, he came in and did a good job. And then Nolan Noel, we moved him back from outside linebacker to inside. So we've moved him around everywhere, plus he's our long snapper. So he was a busy young man, but I can't say enough about our defense. I mean, to be able to move guys in and out of new positions and make the adjustments that we did was so important. And, our defensive staff did a great job all year.
You look at special teams, people talk about kickers and punters, but I mean, you had big contributions from all kinds of players in the return game as well. And, you moved the puzzle pieces around a lot on the, as far as snappers and holders, just a whole lot of contributions on special teams.
Yeah, there's so much to special teams that people don't realize, and Coach Griff does. I can't say enough about the work he puts in to make sure that we have a really good special teams unit. I mean, it is it's something that we really emphasize here. The importance of it. I mean, it's a phase of the game that's just as important as offense and defense. And like you said, it's more than just kicker and punter and holder. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and we do a lot with our special teams. On punt, we have 3 different punt formations we use, and kickoff return, Griff does a great job of studying the opponent and getting guys in there that'll be effective against that opponent. And then we had some really good standout players this year. I felt like Brighton Suggs all season long was a standout on special teams. Holtman Dodds, who came back and played with a club on his hand against Calumet after breaking his thumb against Calumet the first time we played him. He was a standout all year on special teams. You just can't say enough about so many guys. I mean, I could go through a whole list of them that stood out at one time or another. And I do have to say one thing, that Peyton Harris is a kid from Newton, Illinois. He's a kid that when we thought maybe we didn't think he would get to play a whole lot his first year, but whenever we got him on campus and we started seeing, he does everything right. He's always he knows that, it seems like he knows the rules of the game. He's got a good sense of the game. A perfect example is just they did a pooch kick and he catches it immediately, gets down. A lot of where a lot of kids sometimes will try to do too much with it. He just knows the game really well, and he played it really well at outside linebacker when we played him there, and then on all special teams. And those are the kind of guys that you got to have in your program to make it work right.
I know we've talked about Griff a lot this year, but I think it bears mentioning. We don't make a habit to talk about old coaches a lot on this show. We want to talk about the students, but he is a student, and he's your special teams coordinator. He does the pass list. He takes care of the officials. He's the PR man, the community service man, the social media man. There's going to be some program out there in college football that's going to get a guy with 5-6 years full-time experience right out of school. Hopefully it's St. Mary of the Woods that gets him full-time. But I know he means a lot to you. My first day on campus back in February, he was like, "You need to get to know Coach Blaine Powell. He's the greatest guy ever." I mean, he's just a personal.
I paid him to say that.
He's a personal salesman for you, but I know he means a lot to you and his dad Trent also.
And Griff is we have him doing a lot, and he gets upset if I take things away from him. He kind of wants to do everything, but the thing that really stands out to me, he does all the PR, he does social media, and he's done a good job of. We've got a lot of talented students here at St. Mary of the Woods that he's, kind of allowed to kind of help him out with that. But, one of the main thing I told him after the game is just, how he's really matured this year as a coach. And that was great to see. I mean, he did an amazing job with our special teams, plus he's defensive line coach, and with everything he has going on, man, he's constantly sending these guys, emails every week. Noting up film for him to watch, and he really, I think he learned a lot this year.
Yeah.
And he applied everything that he learned and made our special teams so great this year. But really proud of the work he does.
One final thing here, people see the calendar. There's no more games left on the schedule until next season. They think it's time for coaches to take a deep breath, but I tell you what, in this area, you're already probably working on roster management and recruiting for next year.
Yeah, we are. We're getting ready to meet here in just a little bit on recruiting and also kind of the season and start having player meetings and everything. But we this is really a busy time of the year for us. We want to really kind of turn our kids loose a little bit and let them really concentrate on their academics, and we'll be helping them with that. We have study tables up around, up at our office that we do with them. But other than that, we're really kind of figuring out, kind of the numbers that we're going to need for next year, and trying to get the right guys here at the Woods, and we just want to continue to build this thing and be successful from here on out.
I know you will be in the Nerley Center a lot this winter as well, supporting volleyball, the basketballs, men's volleyball, out at softball. There's no bigger fan of the other sports than you from what I've seen so far.
No, man, we love Pomeroy sports, man. We have some great coaches and players here on campus, and we want to definitely support them, and we would encourage everybody to come out and watch them because there's some great athletes out here. And we're looking forward to it.
That's right. Then come out to the Nerley Center tonight. This will air on Tuesday at 7 p.m. The women's volleyball team will take on Shawnee State in the opener of the River State Conference tournament. And Coach, thank you for your time all year.
Thank you,
man. This has been a blast.
It's been a blast. Love it. Love it.
But thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And let me tag along on the ride this year.
It's been a fun ride.
Looking forward to 2025 already. For the Coach Blaine Powell, my name's Ace Hunt. You've been watching the St. Mary of the Woods Sprint Football Coaches Show, presented all season long by Quality Roofing of Indiana. Go Pomeroy.